Good day, contestants! Welcome to MasterChef, the Gastatory Arts of the Cuisine competition. I am Maricel Himarino, and I'm the quest to find the best home cooks in previous era. Over the next few weeks, you will face grilling challenges, intense pressure, and scrutiny of our STEAM panel of judges. Only those with the passion, skill, and determination will survive in this kitchen. So, strap on your aprons, sharpen your knives, and get ready to embark on the gustatory art journey of a lifetime. Let's meet our contestants. From B. Samto A, Noljan Julian, Michael Jones de la Pina, Eden Rose Cruz, City Norsabilio, Rosalie Tingoy, and last but not the least, RG Mabutang. For those who win for the first round, you will be the one who finish the final round. We have the famous cuisine in Davao Oriental with ethnicity, the Parula Bewok. You choose one of the best recipe of Parula Bewok. They serve Monte Cristo, special halo-halo, pad Thai food or Thai noodles in Mati City, pepperoni pizza, toasted sordo, peach mango alamod, and rib ice. Alright, let's get started today. You will be cooking the 5 dishes in different eras. We have ancient time, Middle Ages, Renaissance, 19th century, and the modern era. You have only 20 minutes to perform, and what are you waiting for? Let's the cooking begin!
Good day to each and everyone. By the way, I am Chef Rosalie Tingoy, and I will be explaining to you a proper hygiene for the safety of our food. So before I started with proper hygiene for the safety of our food, wearing proper attire including hairnet, apron, and disposable gloves, Chef Maricel giving me a task in ancient time era recipe, but before that, in ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, China, and some basic food safety practices were employed. Certain foods were cooked to reduce microbial contamination, and methods like drying and salting were used for preservation. However, the understanding of the connection between cleanliness, hygiene, and food safety was limited.
And now, we choose to present pancake of ancient time recipe. Many recipe is barley flour and the others ingredients must be followed. Many different cultures have developed their own version of pancake. Throughout the years, the most recent record of pancakes is history comes from the ancient Greeks, who also loved the flat breakfast food during the era. The ancient time didn't add an egg and milk. They only used water, pinch of salt, and honey, which was the only sweeter at that time in batches. And now, this is my finished pancake. So the ingredients I've used was only barley flour, honey, and pinch of salt, and adding water. It is normally feeling nervous because of ingredients that I have been used, but my task was during ancient era recipe.
Started to cook normally, preparing some tools to use and proper hygiene was included, and I will discuss some of the proper hygiene during Middle Age During the Middle Age, proper hygiene practices in food preparation were often overlooked. Lack of knowledge about foodborne illnesses and limited sanitation system led to widespread contamination and outbreaks of disease. The concept of personal cleanliness, including hand washing, was not widely practiced. Cleanliness and hygiene were often neglected due to poor sanitation practices and limited knowledge of microbial contamination. The focus was mainly on the preservation of food through methods such as salting, smoking, and fermentation. So I chose cabbage Condor vegan recipe. I think it is easy to prepare and ship myself was love this, and before that, the date of the rich and poor was very different during Middle Age, where the upper classes and their households enjoy fresh and imported foods. The rest of the population has to live out what the local and land could produce. It was once just affected by the seasons. Religions also played a part in what people at Fridays, and in the earlier period, Wednesdays and Saturdays were obligatory weekly fasting or fishy days when it was prohibited to eat meat. There were also annual fasts such as Rogation Days, Advent, and Lent, which is restricted dates. Medieval cooks invented creative recipes for weekly dinners during Pax periods, including smoked hard-boiled eggs made of colored almond paste inside blown shell for Lent when dairy was prohibited. A medieval cookbook compiled 11 of our favorite recipes from the Middle Age, but I've only chose cabbage Condor vegan recipe. Ingredients was 60 grams per hearted cabbage of 70 grams. Open hearted cabbage or aspiring greens 250 grams, onions peeled and finely chopped 225 grams, white part of leeks thinly sliced into rings, a tablespoon of dried saffron strands, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon each of ground coriander, cinnamon, and sugar. 850 ml chicken or vegetable stock, and this is my finished cabbage Condor. And the method: if using a firm-hearted cabbage, cut it into segments and remove the center core. If using an open-hearted cabbage or greens, cut off the stalks up, cut off leaves into strips. Put into a large pan with the prepared onions and leeks. Stir the saffron, salt, and spice into the stock, adjusting the quantity of salt in required. Then pour a mixture over the vegetable. Cook quickly, covered for about 20 minutes or until segments of firm cabbage are tender. And time it's up, and I am ready to food tasting with Chef Marcel.
Hi, I'm Chef Eden and Chef Maricel giving me a task of Renaissance period. And before that proper hygiene was applied, keep the food and area free from insect and other animals. Raw meats, poultry, and seafood should be kept away from other food. And during Renaissance period, they already practiced proper hygiene. With the Renaissance, there was a shift towards understanding the importance of cleanliness and hygiene in food preparation. Culinary texts and cookbooks from this period began to mention the importance of cleanliness and proper handling of ingredients. The proper of Renaissance in Europe was a time of great upheavals of change in how people thought and act. And after return of Columbus settlers from America, in how at what they are for most people bread remain the food of choice. Upper classes preferred processed white bread made of flour, but lower class people brown bread made of wheat bran, sometimes with added rye, beans, and chestnuts. Rice was also eaten, was ground chiefly and Lombardy. In the south of Europe, the people at porridge and millet used olive oil and drank wine, often mixed with their water for fear of contracting disease. Northern Europeans preferred beer and cider and used butter rather than olive oil. The lower classes consumed beans, cabbage, garlic, grains, vegetables, and onions. Peaches and melons were eaten mostly at court. Salad were also served made with lettuce, watercress and radish, onions, raisins, and olive. Also with artichokes, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, spinach, carrots, cauliflower, eggplant, fava beans, and fennel. I choose salad using of spinach. The ingredients was 400 grams of mixed radishes and wild herbs, 150 grams of aged Pecorino's Tonac PDO, 4 anchovy fillets and oil, 1 tablespoon of pickled capers, 2 eggs, extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt, freshly ground black pepper.
It's me, your chef, Michael Jones B. De La Pina, ready to serve you 24/7. And this is it. Feeling not comfortable with my recipe that Chef Maricel has given to me. But before that, proper hygiene is normally practiced, and wearing proper attire, regular clean-up, and sanitize the cooking area and the utensils that are to be used. During the 19th century, the development of microbiology and understanding of bacteria further influenced the focus on food safety and hygiene. Food safety regulation and standards were introduced to ensure the proper handling and preparation of food. The emergence of professional culinary schools and the training of chefs in proper hygiene practices became more common. During this period, there's a lot of recipe, but I choose Johnny Cake. Johnny Cake is a cornmeal flatbread that was an early American staple food. Johnny Cakes or Johnny Cake are the Dominican Republic's version of the Johnny Cakes, supposedly brought over in the 19th century by the English-speaking migrants. These cakes are made with flour, baking powder, and water. However, typically deep fried. They are a popular beach snack, especially in Boca Chica. Dominican Johnny Cakes ingredients are the following: 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 cup margarine, 1 egg, 1/2 tablespoon cooking wine, 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of butter. And lastly, oil for frying. And the method was: first, mix flour, salt, sugar, baking powder, and make a hole in the center. Second, add margarine, eggs, and wine in the center, and mix it with hands until blended. Third, add the water little by little until a soft dough is formed. Fourth, divide into small balls of 1 and 1/2 inches wide and stretch with a rolling pin on a floored surface or between wax paper until a thin disc is formed. With a knife, make 2 slits in the middle to prevent dough from inflating while it cooks. Fifth, fry in a hot oil, turning once to leave a brown both sides. Drain on paper towels. If you want, you can sprinkle salt, but it is not necessary. And this is my finished Johnny cake, and it's time for food tasting.
Luckily that Chef Maricel giving me a task in modern era recipe. But before that, proper hygiene are the most important in preparing food. Washing hands when handling food is a must. Use gloves whenever possible. Regular clean and sanitize the cooking area and the utensils that are to be used. Keep the food and area free from insects, pests, and other animals. Raw meats, poultry, and seafood should be kept away from other food. In recent decades, there has been an increased emphasis on food safety and proper hygiene in the culinary industry. Health and safety regulations such as hazard analysis and critical control points or HACCP systems have been implemented to ensure food safety. Chefs and food establishments are required to follow strict hygiene practices, including proper hand washing, sanitation of utensils and surfaces, and safe food storage. Today, gustatory art in proper hygiene while preparing food involves not only creating visually appealing and delicious dishes but also ensuring that the food is safe and free from contamination. Chefs and culinary professionals are trained in proper food handling and hygiene practices to maintain the highest standards of safety and sanitation in their culinary creations. And now, I choose scrambled eggs recipe. To make this scrambled egg recipe, you'll need 5 basic ingredients. Eggs, of course. Use the freshest ones you can find from a local source if possible. The fresher your eggs are, the sunnier, creamier, and more flavorful your scramble will be. milk, plant milk, or water. I whisk a little into the eggs before I cook them. This additional moisture makes the eggs extra soft and creamy. If you use plant milk, make sure to pick one with a neutral flavor. I recommend unsweetened almond milk, extra virgin olive oil, or butter for the pan. I always use olive oil because it's what I keep handy, but butter works well too. It'll add rich flavor to this recipe. Salt and pepper to add depth of flavor to these simple scrambled eggs, and this is it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an incredible competition. Each and every one of us has shown tremendous passion and talent in the kitchen. But in the end, there can only be one winner. The judges and I have deliberated long and hard, considering every dish, every flavor, and every moment of brilliance. We witnessed throughout this competition a montage of the judges tasting different dishes and critiquing them is shown, highlighting the intense competition and the contestants' determination. But there is one era recipe cook who has truly risen above the rest. Her creativity, technical skill, and ability to handle pressure have truly impressed us. And the winner of MasterChef Season 4 is Chef Eden Rose Cruz.